Hello, hello, hello. My name's Paul from the Cannon Club, and we are live after Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. As usual, I'm alongside my co-host Mekz. Mekz, how you doing, man? And breathe.
The Great Escape. You remember back in the days you play Pokemon and you'll have like I don't know, you'll go into like a cave or something like that, and you'll use your escape rope that's in your
Brother.
backpack to get out. We literally used escape rope, like because I mean, God, I don't know, man.
Bro, I'm just saying, like, the energy I would have been on, and I'm still gonna be on it for the most part. But if we had lost that game, bro, I just, we're in a group chat, obviously, and yeah, I was on flames, bro. I was absolutely finished. But somehow, it's Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. They have thrown away a 2-0 lead in a very, I hazard to say, commanding position. We're gonna get right into it. The lineup, obviously, I won't go into it in too much depth because it was pretty much the same. I'll just talk about the notable changes. We had Jorginho in the midfield, and for the first time this season, we saw the front three of Jesus, Martinelli, and Bukayo Saka. Any initial thoughts on the lineup, bro?
I thought that Arteta would stick with it just because it worked against City. Now we're going away against a quote unquote top side as well. So yeah, I thought he would stick with that. Good to see Saka back. Although for much of the performance, I thought, is Saka really back, or is he just playing?
Yeah.
And yeah, playing with a front three that we haven't really seen this season. So yeah, it looked on paper like it was all good to go.
Yeah. I mean, I'm here to agree. I mean, I didn't have any initial problem with Jorginho starting. He played quite well against Man City, and obviously coming back to his own stomping ground, I thought no complaints really. He should be able to be able to control the game the same way that he had a good impact against City. But man, he among other people just had a terrible game. I think overall, like it really is the Great Escape because we had two moments of just like brilliance, and literally that was it. Outside of the two goals we scored, I can't think of any noticeable moments from anyone unless I'm speaking negatively. So, bro, let's just work this from back to front. We have to talk about David Raya. We have to. Um, Arteta has created this situation now where any little error that he makes, we're now looking to say Ramsdale's got to come back in, and vice versa. When Turner was on the bench last season and Ramsdale was making mistakes, it was just that's what it was. Whether it cost us or it didn't, he's made a bad mistake. But now we're in a situation where as soon as he makes a mistake, then it's okay, Ramsdale's got to come back in. And I'm pretty sure if Ramsdale starts making mistakes, we'll start talking about Raya coming back in. He was not good today. And initially, I didn't think he was terrible, but the things that I felt like he was going to come in to usurp Ramsdale and be like, yo, like these little things that you don't do right, I definitely do right. He is not showing it. And these big games, he's looking like a deer in headlights. I mean, his kicking was what was jarring me in the first half initially, kicking it into touch, all this sort of stuff. I just didn't get it. And then the second goal, I just can't understand his positioning. I don't know, bro. Do you have any thoughts on where he's going? I don't know.
Bruv, like this happened 2 weeks ago or whatever against Man City. 20 minutes of madness. We weren't punished, right?
Yeah.
We weren't punished. I think, first half kicking and stuff wasn't great. And this is a man that you specifically brought in because you said his ball playing and his passing is very good. We can't forget that. But then in the second half where we were, conceded that second one, the Mudryk one, again, it's just a spur of the 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes of madness. And there's no control. He's got a glazed eye glazed look in his eye.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't understand. The man that you told us had all this composure and everything like that. Where is it? Like, where is it? And you raised a good point 2 weeks ago when we spoke about the Man City frailties. And not to say I poo-pooed it or anything. I just thought, my excuse for him was that the guys are under pressure. Like Arteta's got 2 number ones and they're under pressure, and maybe that's what's causing them to, make mistakes and things of that nature. But now I'm looking at your point being that, these are massive games that David Raya has never been involved in. And I said, he's played City before, though. He's played Chelsea before. But no, you very well might be right at this point, because these games, of course, there's a lot more at stake in it. The fans behind him, directly behind him, are going to give him a lot of stick and everything like that. And I just don't know if the occasion has now got to him. Like I said, Man City went unpunished. Tonight, it feels like it's kind of gone unpunished. It kind of feels like we've walked out with 3 points and we haven't. But this 1 point feels massive from where we were. So I would like to still think he's going to be called into question. Because, if you keep it tight at the back, you only ever need 1 goal, which we saw at City. But right now, I don't see this guy keeping it tight at the back.
Bro, I mean, even with the chance that fortunately he did recover well and he's passed it straight to Gallagher or Palmer at the time, I literally think, bro, like it wasn't even like, I felt like he just stuck his foot out and he's intercepted it. It wasn't like he slid or he's really stretched or he's anticipated. I don't know. I mean, just generally, even I just felt like the team as a whole, I don't know, we just looked so unsettled. We looked like we had played 90 minutes before. We looked like we'd never played in rain before, that we've never been to Stamford Bridge, that it was not 40,000, but 140,000, in the stadium. And I just couldn't understand why we looked so unsettled. Chelsea did press really well, and I've got to commend them on their shape. But outside of that, and, whenever they did have the ball, they were able to kind of beat our press and play through us a little bit. But I really didn't think they were that spectacular. I felt they were very organized and they came to play a very set game and it worked. So it's not me taking, any credit from them. But from back to front, I mean, apart from the couple of people we'll talk about briefly who I think played well, I've got to start calling out names, and I'm going to start with our captain again, under the lights. And I'm not one of those he goes missing in big games. I'm just talking about this game specifically. He could not do one thing right. Whether it's receiving the ball on his touch, whether it's passing it, just absolutely missing. We had nothing from him. And in that same sentence, we really had nothing from Jorginho as well. And it was like Rice was trying to do as much as he could. I don't even know if there's anything going on with him. If, maybe I'm being a bit overreacting, but it is a live reaction. So I'm telling you how I feel, bro. And I just don't know. He's very hot and cold right currently. He'll have a great game and then all of a sudden he'll go quiet again, and then have a great game and then go quiet again. I'm just not really sure what's going on with our captain.
What I would say is what people have been saying, and that's when it comes to big games, Odegaard tends to go missing. I didn't really believe or want to play into the hype. I haven't really watched, I guess, or noticed him enough in these situations. Today I noticed it. Today I noticed a lot of misplaced passes. I saw passes, and as someone that plays much striker myself, you hate when the guy behind you just puts the ball into a quote unquote area. And then it's just a wayward pass. I was never running that way. The run that way was never run. And then you're here huffing and puffing, and it's like, no, mate, your pass was rubbish. That was him and Gabriel a lot today in the first half, especially. And I was just thinking, this isn't on. I mean, against the Man City, we saw him, like I think I said on the podcast, he sacrificed a lot of that attacking intent within his play. To do doggies and hard work and stuff like that. And there was glimpses of him, glimpses is harsh. He was doing that again today, chasing down things at least. And like I always say, if you're going to be rubbish on the pitch, if you're not going to have a good day technically, the least you can do is work hard. Which I can't remove and say he didn't. He did. But when he's one of the most gifted players in our team, you know, we need you to step up on these occasions. It's not just against Wolves and Nottingham Forest and them, and you start, you know, stringing passes together and looking like prime dad. Like, I need you to show me something in these kinds of matches as well, because all it takes is a moment, and you know, you're back in a game like we saw today, sort of thing. We do need to look into him in big games, and you know, what is he contributing to those games, apart from working hard and trying to galvanize others, probably because his performance is subpar. If his performance wasn't subpar, you wouldn't need to be doing doggies, you know, for 70 minutes or whatever the case is.
Yeah, no, totally agree. I did feel as well our imperious back two of Gabriel and Saliba kind of had a semi-off day. And funnily enough, again, I didn't feel like they had a lot to deal with. It was more just on the ball, unfortunately, which is where you would say their strong suit, especially Saliba is. Again, I do have to give kudos to Chelsea because they were cutting off all the interior passes. They wanted us to go around, and the ball was going out to Ben White, it was going out to Gabriel, it was coming back in the middle. Then we try a pass through the middle, and then it gets cut off. Again, I don't know if it's the weather. I'm not blaming the rain, but I just don't understand. We move the ball so slowly, so many opportunities to switch it to Martinelli. Either the pass was off, or we just, by the time we wanted to switch it, who was playing right back? Was it Gusto is like right there next to him, and then it's like, you know, it's a 50-50. I mean, our attacking line as well. I think personally, Martinelli was the best of the three. I felt like at least when he got the ball, he was trying to attack. He was going down to the byline, trying to chop back everything. But Jesus today, that was like, you know, was it against Lons when we spoke about his finish? And we're saying if he could do that every week. But this week we got the total of like the Jesus that's just like a calamity, a clown that, oh, we need Ivan Toney. Oh, we need any sort of like solid number 9. And Saka just, I don't know if you say he was kept quiet, but he just looked like he was playing within himself, but not the playing within himself that gets him normally a 7 out of 10. Of course, he pops up with a moment of quality as he normally does, but outside of that, we looked, whenever the ball did get up front, we looked devoid of ideas and very, very, very flat. I've never seen us like that before, not for a very long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen Arsenal play this poorly since maybe Arteta's first season, maybe when things are still bedding in. Even then, I can't point to an exact example. Like we were outrun. You were saying that Chelsea weren't great or anything special. They were on it. And sometimes that is enough to get you over the line. It should have been enough to get them over the line. Whilst we're kind of, you know, not happy, but we're happy we've escaped with a point. They're going to go into their dressing room and be cussing and effing and blinding. And you said that you look at them now when it got to 2-2, they're here wasting time and stuff like that. Like they were rattled, and you know, this has happened to us. This has happened to us last season. Happened to us 3 times or so towards the back end of last season. Probably cost us the title. 2-0 isn't anything to rest on. Like it's really nothing, because like I say, the minute that deficit gets chopped to 1-0, like it's
game
crazy.
on.
Yeah, your head is gone. Like your head is gone. We saw that today. So yeah, I don't know. With Gabriel, like again, tried to put himself about. He had a formidable opponent in Thiago Silva, who was quite literally up his arse for as long as Gabriel was on the field. Wouldn't like let him turn. It's like Gabriel receives the ball with his back to goal, and Thiago Silva is here, like and not turn. He's a wall. It's I don't know. It's something else, man. We do need another option up front. There was a lot of talk from our fan base saying that, you know what, we have been asking for Gabriel Jesus to get the run, get a start alongside obviously Saka and Martinelli. But people were saying Nketiah does well against Chelsea. And Nketiah should have been maybe given a chance. I would have went with Gabriel myself.
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
have gone with Nketiah. But I can understand what people are saying. Yeah, it's a very weird one with this front line. I like you, Martinelli was the best of the bunch. Gabriel Jesus, I don't know, it just didn't really happen for him. Saka looked like he didn't want to get hurt, didn't really want to get injured. Cucurella was on him. Cucurella done his bit, so I can't act like he didn't. But yeah, Saka just looked again just a bit not there off the pace. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about standout performers, I think I mean, even excluding the subs, because I know Trossard came on and scored, and not to kind of take that away from him, but in terms of, well, actually, no, let me not even do that. I will say Trossard came on, obviously bagged a goal. Martinelli, Declan Rice, again, 100 million, and I'll pay another 100 if they ask for more. He was again just, not even that he was doing anything amazing, and he did have some misplaced passes, but you could see when the game was starting to get on, he was the one who's asking for the ball. He's always arms out wide pass, trying to drive forward. And bro, I'm yamming the biggest humble pie over Tomiyasu. That guy is absolutely immense. Absolutely immense. But one thing I did want to point out, and what I said on Twitter just before we've gone live, is that a lot of Arsenal fans might not want to hear it, but I do think we should have gone to Havertz a lot quicker. I know we were happy to see Smith Rowe go on, but if we had maybe had Havertz go on and got up top, I know maybe wanted to give Jesus a bit longer, but it was clear we weren't playing through their press today. And I felt like Arteta took way too long to switch it up. And then all of a sudden, you've got Havertz. I don't think he lost one aerial duel when he came on. And it's about, let's just change up the style of play. Let's get Trossard and Saka more narrow when the ball goes up top, look for those knockdowns, get Odegaard floating around and just see if we can make something happen like that. Because when he did come on, he was very, very good in that regard. But at the end of the day, we get the 2 goals. And I will say, as much as, we're kind of annoyed about the performance, their goals came from absolute nonsense. That first goal, the penalty, I know in 2023, that's a penalty. I'm not going to come here and say it's not, but I don't know what Saliba can do. You try to lunge forward to go for it. Naturally, your chest goes forward, your arms come back, they come about shoulder height. Handball, all right, we take it. And then the second goal, Raya's poor positioning, but if Mudryk crosses the ball properly, I'm pretty sure nothing comes of it. And other than that, maybe there was one Cole Palmer chance at the beginning after he scored, and one Nicholas Jackson chance at the end. Other than Raya's little mishaps and stuff, they didn't really create that much, in my opinion. But here we are. Anything to say on our good performers?
Well, I mean, let's talk on like you mentioned the goal. Sterling. On a side note, Sterling is an outstanding football player, which I don't know why he's not in the England team. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say on that. He puts in a ball. Mudryk, he goes for a header. The header from the reverse angle that they showed looked like it was probably going wide anyway. It hits Saliba on the hand. It's a penalty. It was a penalty at the time. They didn't need however long they took to look at VAR. It's a pen by the letter of the law in it. It wasn't intentional, but it's a pen. Cole Palmer steps up, scores the pen. Cool. The second goal, Mudryk's Ronaldinho-esque effort into the goal, which he celebrated like he meant it.
Bro.
Like whatever in it. David Raya, again, I don't know what he's doing out there. And then, if we're talking formidable players for Arsenal that stepped up, like you said, Martinelli was there. Rice was good throughout. Keep saying it. Best 100 million spent in the business. Like he just keeps performing, and this is why you spend money on people like this, because they may need to be the ones that stand up and take charge when things are going tits up sometimes. Gabriel and Saliba, they were okay. They were okay on the day. Like the stuff that caused us trouble wasn't by their issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned some of their passing wasn't great.
Mm.
So yeah, we can't ignore that. Trossard, who we have probably given quite a lot of stick over the last few weeks,
Yeah.
I can't not mention him. You're taught to do that as a schoolboy. When the ball's on the other wing, you're the winger. You come into the the back post and try to get onto things, sort of thing. And that Gusto fella didn't follow his marker. And literally back post, it couldn't have been any more tighter. He had one place to put it, and that was through Sanchez's legs, and that's where he put it. So yeah, big up him. And again, I think we've spoken about in the past, is he just better off the bench? We've discussed he's better in central areas, and we've discussed now, is he better off the bench? And I guess he's proven both of what these things correct, sort of thing. We'll see. We'll see with Trossard. He's an interesting fella. How he fits in our team, but yeah, it's Rice and Trossard that are the only people that can really take plaudits from today's performance.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just wanted to focus on the goal that got us back into the game. Obviously, Sanchez plays a poor pass out. I don't know who he was looking for. Don't really care, to be honest. And by the way the game was going, you would think that we're lacking confidence. It's raining. It's wet. We're 2-0 down. And maybe Rice or whichever midfielder would have taken a touch and tried to look for another option. Rice just says, bun all that, puts his foot through it and absolutely bends it into the bottom corner. I mean, I've seen a couple of tweets already saying that, give him the armband. And I'm not saying we should go that far just yet, but his qualities just, they seem to extend past his footballing ability. Of course, I'm here waxing lyrical about his goal, because to do that from about 30, 35 yards, I know it's an empty net, but still to keep it down, to put the pace on it, everything, to take advantage of that is just top quality. But his just overall presence, I just feel like he's giving us so much more than that. And I don't know, at that moment in time, maybe Martinelli at the time, I don't know if any other player on the pitch at that moment in time scores that if it falls to them. And he was just right player in the right time, pressing up on whoever it was. I don't know if it was Enzo or Gallagher that he's kind of nipped in front of. But yeah, he's just, he's absolutely amazing. I can't say enough about this guy. I just cannot. It's like he needs to play all, however games we play, 38, 48, 58. He just needs to start every single game.
Yeah. Best 100 million spent in the business. There's no other way to say it. Like,
yeah.
It's 100 million surefire. Remember when we bought Pepe, and it's like, 70 million. Will he do it? Don't really know him. Like, watch some compilation vids. All right, he looks all right, sort of thing. But there's a bit of doubt. There's a bit of something that you're not quite sure of what you're gonna have to see. Though the world knew when Arsenal bought this guy for 105 million. It's a steal, and it's mad to say it's a steal at that price. And now we can see it. You can't spend it any better. And you remember, like, there's periods of last season, although Odegaard was captain by then, and we're seeing the likes of Zinchenko, Xhaka still doing team talks and galvanizing the guys and doing the rah-rah speeches. And it's the same situation. Odegaard is the captain, and I'm not disrespecting him by that, but sometimes it's not the lead by example by your technical brilliance. And I need to do better on the pitch because this guy's doing better and that guy's doing better. I just need a bollocking. Like, I need someone to give me a bollocking so that I can sit up and pay attention. I need someone to keep running and putting in the effort and that, so I know, okay, I'm not running half as much as my man is, so I need to step it up. That these are other ways that people lead, and obviously Rice being a captain is well documented. We know what he did at West Ham to take the reins of Mark Noble after years and years and years of Mark Noble being captain in that squad from a very young age. Like Rice was, like, Noble left the team, or Noble was on his way out when Rice was given the armband, and Rice was like one of the youngest in the team.
Yeah.
Like, there were big men around him that could have got that armband by default, sort of thing. But it was like, no, this guy has the characteristics, he has the attributes, and yeah, we're gonna back him, and I don't think he's any different in this. He's just playing without the armband. Yeah, it's very inspirational, and like you're saying, I just hope you can keep it up and keep going. And we had a little scare against Tottenham, and we saw what that was when he wasn't on the pitch. So God forbid that something serious happens this season, and we have to actually start games without him.
Yeah, no, I hear that 100%. So yeah, I don't know where I kind of sit, like, in terms of the result. Obviously, we're happy with the point because of how we played. But is that like mark of champions stuff, or do you think today we just got a bit lucky? I'm kind of, I guess obviously the bias would be you'd say mark of champions, because to kind of come back from that position where you're not even playing stump football, you're doing absolutely nothing. I think it was, I can't remember, the graphic came on the screen and said that we hadn't had a shot on target sometime well into the second half. And I was getting worried here that if we lose here 2-0 and there's no shots on target, and then we're now going to Sevilla away, I was just thinking it could be a bit of a downward slope, and then we're looking at Sheffield United for like a bounce back. So I'm still sitting on it, saying, you know what? At the end of the day, the boys did it in the moments of quality from Rice, Saka, and Trossard. But at the same time, it's these sort of results where you say to yourself, and you look back at the end of the season, hopefully, and say, had we lost there, had we not got that point, had we not turned 1 into 3 and 0 into 1, we may not end up where we want to end up, which is obviously winning the title. But we should be going to Chelsea and beating this Chelsea side at the same time. So I'm a little bit lost. But obviously, you can't always play your best. You can't always, but more time than not, we need to. However, we still remain unbeaten, which I guess is still a good thing. But any last little thoughts on, like, looking forward? Do you feel like there's anything to worry about? I mean, our attack still isn't clicking in large parts, but we're still, at the same time, you're unbeaten. What's this, the 10th or 11th game? I'm not sure. Yeah.
Last week, when we were recording, I said, I think Arsenal should, be able to overcome Chelsea. And then, you settle into getting ready to watch the match, and you see the atmosphere and all of this, and then giving you all the history of the fixture and stuff like that. And I thought, I still think Arsenal should be able to beat them, but this ain't going to be a walk in the park, especially because Chelsea have bucked up their ideas in recent times from, the beginning of the season, where they just kept losing. Is this the mark of champions? Making a comeback so late on? It's, for us that grew in the 90s, this is Man United, through and through, what Man United used to do all the time. So yes, there is a never say die attitude. It is that kind of stuff. I think more concerning today was our performance for about 70 minutes.
Yeah.
That for 70 minutes, we cannot play that badly ever again and expect to walk out with a point anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it was so poor. It was so poor. I left the room. Like, I left. Like, I just said, it's a good idea. I'm out of it. Like, because I didn't see it getting any better.
Yeah.
But on that aspect, like you say, we played like, champions. And I think it's, although we didn't score any goals in injury time, we've always got to remember, we've got that extra injury time. That's always seems to be like 7, 8, 9 minutes now.
Yeah.
That almost galvanizes the players again, and always, okay, we still got time.
Can grab one.
Again, sort of thing. Exactly. Listen, let's be completely honest. They've let us back into the game today.
Yeah.
They've let us back into the game. And when we scored, it's like, cool, right, now we've got a chance, sort of thing. And they're going to rue that mistake. We just have to be better. We played a blinder. It was like a tactical masterclass. A lot of people didn't enjoy the Man City Arsenal game 2 weeks ago. I loved it because I thought my boys have grown up.
Yeah.
The emotion of scouring round, we have to win, we have to give the Emirates a show. Bond the Emirates fans, and I mean that respectfully. Like, play what's in front of you. See what I mean? Like, and we in a really mature performance. And again, we were lucky to kind of get away with the goal and the win that we did. We cannot play another 70 minutes, 50 minutes, 30 minutes how we play today.
Yeah.
Like, it is very poor. There will have to be an inquest into Raya.
Yeah.
There has to be. I'm sorry. And Odegaard in big games, I'm not calling it out, but I'm hearing what the fans are saying. I'm hearing them now because I've seen it. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes today. Sevilla around the corner, that ain't gonna be easy. But we lost to Lens on the Champions League match day 2. We're gonna need to pull out something.
100%.
Like, so yeah, the only thing is Sevilla will be more willing to play, which will leave space in behind.
Yeah.
And then who you say we got after that? Sheffield United. That's got to be 3 points. That's just got to be 3 points. Is that at home or away? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Thank you. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
With one last thing I'll say is with these big teams. Again, I've said this before. If we can do damage against the smaller teams in the league, get 3 points, you always have the leeway to have a slip-up result like this.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so we beat Man City. It kind of means you should beat Chelsea. We didn't, but we were very lucky to get anything from today's game. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. I don't think we're in the stage where we can start looking at, 2 points dropped here or, a point gained here. It's still very, very early days. So this is just a result which would have been a nice win. It hasn't been that, but we haven't lost. So we move.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the nail on the head. Obviously, we got some big games coming up, especially in the Champions League. We have to kind of go to Sevilla and win in order to kind of get our Champions League group stage back on track. Yeah, today, again, like you said, you always say when you're a big team, you want to win your home games against the big clubs, and you can draw. If you get a win, you get a win, but don't lose when you go away.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't consider Chelsea a big team anymore in the sense of how they've been in recent years, but at the same time, it's still Chelsea. They're always going to be up for it against Arsenal, which they showed today. But we got away with one. I wouldn't be in the shower. I would have got my stuff and would have just hopped on the coach and be like, go, 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 before they take the point back from us or something. So honestly, it's the mark of champions, and it's still very early in the day, but Sevilla next, Sheffield United after that, and then we've got a massive one, St. James's Park away. If we show up like that, brother, I don't know if I'll get to 45 minutes. I don't know.
It'll be a hard one to watch.
No, most definitely.
What day is that match?
So we got, I think if we got Sevilla this week, then it must be next weekend. Newcastle, I assume. I don't know if we got.
Sorry, I meant the Sevilla match. What day?
Sevilla. I think it's Tuesday because we play. No, it's Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday because we played Lens on Tuesday, so it should be we flip. So I think we're Wednesday now. So yeah, we got to go to Seville and do the business. Got to get this one. You got to shake it out, and we got to go there and get our Champions League back on track. But that is it for today. Nice little quick one for you guys. As I said at the beginning, Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2. Arsenal still the point. we Chelsea give us the point, and we happily accept. 2 quality moments from Declan Rice and Saka putting the ball into Trossard, and yeah, we move forward in the Premier League. We've got Sheffield United next, and you would expect a massive 3 points, whether home or away, to kind of steady ourselves again. I think that puts us joint first on the table. But obviously, Spurs are playing Sunday or Monday. I'm not sure. But if they win, they'll go 2 points clear. But hopefully, Fulham's got a little sign for us. Any last words, Mekz?
We need to do better. Like I said, Pokemon Red escape rope today. We literally got out of it. Get out of jail free card on Monopoly, whatever you want to call it. We got away with a point when we were extremely poor for a long period in that game. But it just shows when your opportunities come, you have to take them. You have to take them, and we took them today, and we're almost walking out smiling, laughing as if we've taken all 3 points, because from where we were, this is a godsend.
There we go. As usual, guys, you can catch all the Cannon Club videos and podcasts on all your normal streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Cannon Club Live, everywhere and anywhere. Thank you for rocking with us, and we will see you very, very soon.